Greetings once again, my friends, my fellow modelers, my fellow lovers of ocean liners, and my fellow lovers of everything interesting. I'd like to welcome you to another video, and not just another video, but this is going to be another build series. Finally, we're going to be making the 1/350 scale R.M.S. Lusitania. Before I start, I want to give a shout out to a good friend of mine, Alan Urban. He let me know. See, I've got the 1/350, the Entex model kit, and that one's a little hard to find, and it's expensive. And I recently got the Revell kit, 1/350 Lusitania, and I was worried about the molds being the same, because I think the Entex one is really nice. Well, Alan, if you're watching, thank you. Alan had let me know that it was the same molds. So basically it's the same kit. But anyway, my friends, I'd like to welcome you to another build series. This is going to be for the R.M.S. Lusitania. Enjoy. Let me show you guys the one that I was talking about, the Entex. You can see it right there. And let's see if I can get this in the shot for you. You can see that beautiful picture of the Lusitania. Now, when it comes to this model kit, I've used this as a backdrop for instance, the book from Robert Ballard, the Second Class Menu, things like that, because I think it's just such a beautiful illustration. But this is the Entex. These are pretty hard to find now, especially in a plastic wrap, so we're not opening this one. I'm going to use this as a backdrop. I'll continue to do that, but what I want to show you guys today is one that's molded from the same mold as this one. And we're going to do the Revell Lusitania. So let me put this one aside, and let's get the camera adjusted. So you can see we got the front of the box. This is the classics. R.M.S. Lusitania. Let's see. It's got like a timeline. 70 years after she perished at the bottom of the sea, the Lusitania still remains a matter of wonder and fascination to followers of maritime lore. Built in 1907 by the Cunard Line, she was some 785 feet long, standing end to end. She resembled a 70-story office building. But Lucy, as she was called, was known for more than her speed and power than for her size. At 68,000 horsepower engine drove quadruple screws, making her sleek and powerful. So powerful, she received 3 blue ribbons for being the fastest passenger liner in the world. But in 1915, the seas weren't calm, and war raged in the Atlantic. German submarines prowled beneath the waters, poised to attack. None of this deterred the Lusitania. Ignoring a warning, the warning from the German embassy, she sailed into the war zone off the coast of Ireland. And then on May 7th, disaster struck. A German submarine torpedoed the Lusitania, ripping into her broadside. The ship began to lisp sharply. Horrified passengers scrambled for the lifeboats. When 20 minutes after she had been hit, Lucy had vanished beneath the sea, taking over 1,100 people to a watery grave. The shocked public reacted in outrage. Anti-German demonstrations were held around the world. Remember, the Lusitania became the universal battle cry. To this day, historians point to the sinking as a pivotal reason for the U.S. entry into World War I. Revell is proud to present this classic version of the Lusitania and its replica of this great ship that differs only in size. We think it's a Lusitania that you'll never forget. You can see an aerial view. I do believe that's the model kit. You can see a picture of the model kit on the box. We've got the cargo booms, We got the foremast with the detailed rigging instructions. We've got the lifeboats for, let's see, 50 passengers. We got the wireless room up over here. You can see where it goes up to the Marconi lines. The skylights over the first class level. We've got the docking bridge back here. We've got detailed hulls, simulates the steel plate construction. We've got the vacuum metallized propellers. And going back, we have the promenade deck. So we got a beautiful illustration of the Lusitania on the box. Now you may be wondering, because if you look at that picture of her, the actual photograph, her smokestacks were black. And you may be wondering, well, gee, there's not really many pictures of her with the black smokestacks. Well, that's because that was only on the last voyage. When she had left New York, and she was going back. She was going to off the coast of Ireland is where she was sank. But they actually painted the smokestacks black so she wouldn't be as visible to enemy submarines, and they removed the flags as well. So that's why you may see a picture of the Lusitania and she has orange-like smokestacks, or sometimes they were black. That's the reason. So checking out the box, this is a pretty large box. On this side of the box, we have some finished pictures of the model. This is R.M.S. Lusitania. Detail features, finely detailed hull, includes chain, string, and flags, detailed deck engraving, simulated brass parts, display stand included, molded in white, brown, and tan. Additional materials. To assemble and paint the model kit to match the pictures on the package, you will need plastic model cement in the following colors: gold, silver, matte colors, dark blue, brown, dark brown, light brown, red, dark red, white, black, tan, and gray. And you can see some of the pictures. This has the anchor. You can see the davits for the lifeboats in that picture. And going, you can see the propellers. And I apologize, there's not a lot of room because the box is pretty large. Taking a look at the other side of the box, let's see, we got some more pictures of the finished model. And then we have the actual model itself. Photo of the painted and assembled model. And this is going to be a very nice representation. An unassembled plastic model kit, paint and cement not included, are needed to complete model as shown. This 1/350 scale is 27.5 inches long. Pictorial instruction sheet provides assembly instructions in English for ages 10 to an adult. And this was released, hopefully you can see the date, 1985 by Revell. And this is kit number 08817. And that's when Revell was still in Venice, California in the United States. And finally, on the ends of the box, we have R.M.S. Lusitania. It's got that picture of the finished kit. And it's got the Revell quality ribbon. And this is in 1/350 scale. And again, this is kit number 8817. And it's the same on both ends of the box. So why don't we go ahead and we're going to open it up and we're going to take a look at what's inside this beautiful model box. All right. First thing I see, we got the instruction booklet. Let's see if the decals are in here. All right, I don't see the decals in here. So let's just check out the instruction manual. So it's got some information on the front, and it's relative to the ship itself. So I'm going to go ahead and read it. The greatest crime in maritime history was the phrase used to describe the event that led to the fateful end of the Lusitania. It was conceived in 1903 by the Cunard Steamship Company, Limited, as an attempt to recapture their leading position of having the fastest vessels on the seas, a subsidy, for two speed vessels that were granted by the British government with the condition that they be constructed to meet requirements as armed naval auxiliary cruisers in the event of a war. The ship was launched on June 7, 1906. She began her maiden voyage from Liverpool to New York on September 7, 1907. Over 200,000 people crowded the waterfront to watch the first British four-stacker begin its North American passage. The Lusitania quickly captured a new speed record by cruising at 25.88 knots. Foremost, the Lusitania was the most powerful ship of its day. Its first quadruple-screw, turbine-driven vessel ever. She measured 790 feet in length and 88 feet in width. The innovative power plant employed 4 giant steam turbine engines with 76,000 horsepower and 200 RPMs, man, pushing the 45,000-ton weight up to a speed of 26 knots. That's a big girl right there. Never before in the history of steam navigation had there been such excitement and enthusiasm as for the great liner. The Lusitania was lovingly nicknamed Lucy, also known as the Floating Palace. The Lusitania was the greatest luxury liner of her day. Interior accommodations for up to 2,300 passengers and a crew of 800 included an elegant first-class dining saloon with seating for up to 500, a lounge, smoking room, library, and writing room. There was also the first liner to be fully equipped with telephones and electricity. Carrying 1,959 people on board, the Lusitania left New York for Liverpool on May 1st of 1915 for her 202nd voyage. Voyages had been restricted to 1 per month since the outbreak of hostilities with Germany. And at 2:10 p.m. on May 7th came a thunderous explosion. A U-20 fired a torpedo at the starboard side of the Lusitania, sending it to the bottom of the sea in only 18 minutes. 1,198 people lost their lives as the Lusitania was swallowed by the sea. The German government fired the Lusitania in retaliation for British blockades of German ports. They claimed to be within their rights, calling the Lusitania an armed auxiliary cruiser of the Royal Navy. National anguish and disbelief regarding the incident contributed to a great deal the eventual entry of the U.S. into World War I. Controversy over whether the vessel was carrying firearms on its final voyage still remains an issue to this day. Dr. Ballard had gone, in the book that I had shown you guys, his theory was the second explosion, where people thought might be munitions, it was actually caused by the coal powder, which was highly flammable. The first explosion ended up igniting the, because she was low on fuel, so all the coal powder ended up igniting, and that was in the book that I had shared with you. You can see a key on the bottom. We got the glue. No glue required key. We do that the amount of times it calls for. This is the optional key, and then apply decals. So we're moving on to step 1. It actually has, okay, let's see, the paint key up top. Matte dark blue, matte brown, matte dark brown, matte white, matte black, dark brown, matte light brown, matte gray, silver, and matte red. And you can see the keys. And moving on to step 1, we're going to work on the base first. And we have that gold, these kind of pillars molded in gold plastic, and we have the Lusitania. Moving on to step 2, you can see we're going to bring the hulls together because it's a double hull where two parts of the hull that we glue together. You can see the thread that's going to go in that we're going to use. And now we put the hull together. We tape the, use some tape, the adhesive, and that looks like it's for the thread. You can see the bilge keels going on as the propeller shaft housings. And then 4, you can see we're going to put the propellers on. You can see down by the forecastle, or where the bow is. And we're going to put some more thread for the rigging. would be the mast support that's going to go underneath. Looks like there's quite a bit of steps in here. Okay, part 7. We're going to put the forecastle on and the main section towards the stern. And now we're going to start to build a promenade deck. You can see more of the decking, the stair railing, first class promenade decks. You can see part 10. We're going to do the same thing, and I wonder if those are going to go for the smokestack funnels, the rigging for the smokestacks. Part 11. More of the rigging, the thread. Part 12, you can see we're going to actually assemble the decks and see how it's all going to go on. Where the promenade, the top deck or the boat deck, and it's all going to come together and form the levels of the ship. Step 13 is the aft bridge wall, the right bridge wall, left bridge wall, and the bridge. Step 14 is the bridge railing. 15 looks like some more of the rigging. We got the wireless room, forward wall, left wall, the right wall, and the aft wall. Step 16, you can see we start to do the smokestacks. And then you can see we're going to put the vent lids on in step 17. Stair railing, the sun deck forward railing. Step 18, let's see, these are the thermo tanks. So we got the thermo tanks, the small freshwater tanks, the large freshwater tank, and the winches. Step 19, we put on one of the funnels and we do the sun deck railing. Step 20, let's see, we do the more thermo tanks and the vent lids. Let's see, moving on to step number 21. Put on another smokestack. Then we have the skylight over the first class writing room and library. Step 22, we got more thermo tanks and we have railing. Step 23, you can see the skylight over the first class lounge, the vents, the vent lids, and the deck railings. On to step 24, we have the more thermo tanks, the winch, the vents, and the vent lids. Step 25, we get the more freshwater tanks with the fans and more railings. And let's see, these cowls. Step 26, we got the skylight over the first class smoking room, vents, the vent lids, and the cranes. And we're up to step 27. You can see the skylight over the first class, the veranda, and we have more vents and more railings. Then you can see the funnels, the tops of the funnels, and how we're going to tie off the rigging or the cabling. 29, we have the second class lounge. 30 with more railing that's going to go on top. 31, it looks like we have a vent. It's going to go on the roof with a couple of vents. And we got ladders and railings. 32, we got the docking bridge. Step 33, we have another skylight over the second class ladies' room. More railing, more vents, the docking bridge, the bulwark, more railing. Step 34, we got another skylight with thermo tanks. Step 35, you can see how we're going to put that onto the deck. Step 36, we have more of the detailing. We got the bollards that are going to go on. The capstans. Let's see, 37. We got the more thermo tanks in the aft winch. 38. We've got second class promenade deck. 39. We've got the aft railing, second class shelter deck. Step 40, we're going to put it onto the main ship, the hull, the aft wall, the forward wall, stair railings, second class shelter deck. Step 41, we're going to be doing the lifeboats, and again, they're in halves. We're going to put them together, and you can see how we're going to have the thread or the rigging come out to hold them as they're going to be held in place. Let's see. We're gonna attach them to the davits. Step 43, you can see we're gonna put the anchor chains down. Step 41, you can see the front where the anchor crane is gonna go. We got bollards, the wire reel. More detail on 45. You can see we're going to put the anchor down. The steam winch, cargo room stand. Number 46, you can see we're putting up the rat lines. We got the foremast, the cargo boom, the crow's nest. 47, you can see how we're going to put the rigging in place. Same thing with 48. We're going to be using the thread. Repeat procedure for opposite side. Step 49, you can see the rear mast. Step 50, we get the rigging for the rear mast. Let's see. We've got the Marconi lines. I don't know if these are actually Marconi. I keep referencing Titanic. I'm not sure if these are Marconi or not. Let's see. It just says wireless aerial spreader. So I'm not going to refer to these as Marconi lines because I don't know if that's what they actually are. So we'll just refer to it as the wireless aerial spreader. But it shows you how to form it. And stage 52, we're going to put it onto the ship, and that's going to go onto the fore and the aft mast. The back and the forward flagpole. And finally in stage 53, you can see we're going to do the decals. So there's a lot to these instructions. It's an involved kit. It's not so much that it's hard, it's just there's a lot of detail. And what I'm going to do with mine is we're going to light her up. So those are the instructions. So let's take a look at the ship model. Take a look at this beautiful hull. I don't know why they haven't reissued this ship. This is just beautiful. All of these out, which really shouldn't be a problem. We'll just use the pin vise. Let's bring her up towards the bow. She's got beautiful detail. You can see the plates, the doors, the entrance. Propellers are going to go through the propeller shaft housings and eventually the rudder. So that was the port side. Let's check out the starboard side. Look at that. She's beautiful. The detail in the plastic is amazing. available. I don't know why Revell hasn't reissued this kit. The holes where the bilge keel is going to go. So let me try to put it together and show you guys how it's going to go. I know a lot of the Revell kits, the hull is in two pieces. This one has, you can see the little nubs, the little plastic pegs that go into the holes. So you can see, hopefully you can see there are little tabs. And what they're going to do is they actually are going to go together, and we'll clamp it, and then we'll putty it and we'll sand it down to smooth it out. But there are little teeth that are going to help hold the hull together. And going to the back, you can, let's see, it's off a little bit, but not impossible. There it is. Clamping, a little bit of gluing, a little bit of putty. It should be okay. Show you guys the hull with the parts together. Down to the aft end. Why don't we start checking out some of the parts? This is the bag that has all of the white parts, like the decks, the walls, the promenade deck walls. So let's open this up. Put the hull to the side for a minute. All right. First of all, let's see. This tree looks like it has the rudder on it. It looks like it has some of the cowls. It has the winches. If these could be the lifeboats. Connect them to the davits. Let's see what's over here. Looks like this is a smaller tree. Looks like this is the railing. You can see the railing, and I don't know if this is the first class promenade or this could be the second class. I'm not sure, but either way, these are promenade deck windows. Let's see what else we got. These are stuck together. Okay. You can see the rat lines. There's an awful lot of railing. You know, I'm tempted, instead of using this railing, I'm tempted to see if we can use some of the 1350 photo etch railing. I think it might look a little bit better. About all railings and the rat lines. This one has look like to be the smokestacks. See where the rigging is going to go, or the support cables. One of them has the the bell. Oh no, I don't see it. I don't want to point to something wrong. You can see these are the caps that are going to go on top of the smoke funnels, so the smokestacks. The second class area or not, with the promenade underneath, or the support deck. This looks like the docking port. Bulkhead walls with the doors. You can see we have the and there are solid pieces, the propeller shaft housings that are going to go on the back of the ship. You can see going to go on. This is R.M.S. Lusitania, parts tree D, 1 of 20 from Japan. Let's see. This is Revell, stock number 08817-0170, made in Japan. Let's see. We have, looks like the promenade deck walls. Beautiful windows. You can see the doors. I'm thinking these are the first class doors. And these are some of the rooms. So we're going to be able to light all of these because they're all open, so that's a good thing. And let's see, it looks like there's one more piece, and again, this could be for the promenade. The promenade, you can see where all the deck's going to be, with all the little windows I just showed you. So that'll be on the inside over there. And we're going to light them up. Have a little bit of fun. You can see there's more railing. And let's see, where would this be on the ship? Up top. I think it would look a little bit better if we got the photo etch railing. So I think we're going to do that. Let's see, this bag has more of the white, different color. It looks like it's got the decks. Let me just get this open. Let's see, we see the same thing. The little tag. All right, first thing I see. Hopefully you guys can see the propellers. All the same. Actually the same or not. If on Titanic, the two middle ones, the two middle propellers were actually the turbines, and they had 4 blades on them. If Lusitania has different blades on the different propellers, I'll put it up for you guys. You can see the anchors. These are actually the base, the pillars that are going to support the ship. And lastly, I love the gold. You can see the R.M.S. Lusitania. Beautiful. Let's see, we have some clear parts now. And I'm loving this because we're gonna light all of these up. All the skylights are gonna be lit. Challenging to paint this. All of them. And we can light every single one of them and look really nice from an aerial view of the model. And Interestingly, how they put these in clear. These are actually, I think this is where the ship is going to rest. The ship is going to rest on these. These are going to go on top of the pillars that I showed you, the gold ones. So these are the clear parts. Let's see. There's a little packet. Nice. And I see rigging. Cows. Let's see. What else is in here? I don't want to mess anything up. Alright, so the first thing I notice is we've got the chains for the anchors. Nice. These would have to be painted black. I think they were black. Let's see what else we got. We've got some of the thread. Looks like we've got 2 of these. This one is a little extra, just in case we don't have enough with this for the rigging. We got the lines, the area lines. We have the rigging for the smokestacks. We have the rigging for the masts, forward and aft. So there's a bit. The thread pieces. And lastly, we have, these are paper, so we would cut these out and then use some glue on them. You can see the American flag. I'm not sure, I think that's the French flag, but I'm not positive. We've got the British Jack. We got the looks like the white star pennant. The Cunard line. Yeah, because Cunard and White Star didn't merge until 32, so yeah. But there's a White Star pennant. We got another British flag, and I'm not quite sure what the lion is. And this is too small. I can't really see what that says. Maybe Cunard line. But these are the flags, and what we would do is we would cut them and then glue them. And then we have the water slides. You can see Lusitania out of Liverpool. I'm going to go on the sides of the bow. And we have the watermark, or the measurements for the bow section. Okay, now we get a white tree, and we have the davits. And I'm wondering if this is going to go on top of the smokestacks, like a grill. Looks like we have some of the cranes. We got anchor crane right there. And possibly, are these going to be the masts? We have the foremast. I'm only thinking it would be because of the lookout on the top. We have the aft mast. For the staircases. The davits. Let's see, now we have the deck itself. Interesting, it's actually molded in tan. Paint it anyway, and we're gonna make the wood, we're gonna paint the wood. So this is the underside. I wanted to see where the support for the mast would be, but we'll see that when we actually build it. But hopefully you can see the little planks. Or the skylights. And this would be the promenade deck. You can see the outline of where the walls are going to go, and this will all be lit up. And we have some other things in here as well. The bag was actually pretty brittle, so I keep forgetting the age of this kit. Alright, that's everything. We've got more of the decking. You can see the aft end, or the poop deck, where the bollards are. And more of the promenade. Looks like we have the bow section. Some of the cargo hatches, the bollards, where the anchors are going to go, the auxiliary anchor. Chain rests are. Looks like that's a door, hatchway to go below deck. Let's see. We got another deck, but it's molded in dark plastic now. And it's got kind of a curve to it. You can see this is another promenade deck. Interesting how they molded it in dark brown. I mean, it doesn't really matter. We're going to paint them all anyway. Part of the deck, it looks like the flanging of where the bridge would be. Thinking each of the smokestacks are going to go on to. We got a couple of more of the skylights, and again, this is in dark brown. This is R.M.S. Lusitania from Japan. Let's see, it looks like we've got one more thing in the bag. Incidentally, we had it again. We had the Revell made in Japan tag, and lastly, we've got the base. Beautiful base, very nice. You can see where the tag is going to go with a nameplate. It's going to go into these holes, and I'm not sure if we're going to be doing a plug-in or if I'm going to be doing a power pack with a battery, depending on how much of the lighting we need. Ideally, if we use the button batteries, it would fit perfectly in here. A problem with that is it just might be, there may be too many LEDs, because I think I might be using the LED tape for the promenade decks. But we'll see. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come up with a lighting plan for this kit, and we'll go over the lighting plan and the build plan when we get to it. But you can see this is nice and wood, nice finish. We make it, maybe if we give it a wash with some black, it would look more like a finished wood grain, like a wood kind of base, but we'll see. Is there anything? There's no writing in it. And that is everything that was included in this kit. So that was the R.M.S. Lusitania. And this is by Revell. This is the Revell release, and they used the Entex molds for the model kit. So if you see, I think Revell, Entex, Mr. Hobby, I believe all of the kits are from the same molds. If they're not from the same molds, I'll put it up and I'll show you guys to clarify, but I think they're all the same mold. So my friends, that was the Revell R.M.S. Lusitania. So this is going to be a really fun build, and we're going to be able to light her up, and it's going to be really, really cool. So my friends, until the first video, I think we're going to go over a lighting plan. That'll be the next video. So until that video, my friends, thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon.